What's going on, gamers? We got a video here to talk about the Xbox Magnus and why I think it's kind of a pointless launch and why Microsoft should just go third party. But I think they're going to do this anyways, and there's nothing wrong with putting, I guess, another device on the market, but the fact that it's fully Windows 11, everybody knows that nobody likes Windows 11. Everybody wants to move to Linux too. Here's my thing. And the time that they want to move into the market, and I want you guys to think about this, it is the worst where they're killing PC gaming at the highest degree, and parts are ridiculously expensive. You know how we said that we're worried about Steam Machine, and people were worried about Steam Machine being $700, right? It's like, yeah, man, I mean, nobody wants to pay even that much for the 512 gigabyte model. Definitely for the specs that they're offering, but when you think about the Steam ecosystem, and the profiles, that's what makes it attractive, and it's not using Windows 11. You know, and it's Valve, they know what they're doing. They can optimize very well with the Steam Verified and all that. With the Xbox Magnus, I mean, it used to be where you're thinking, man, this thing may be $1,000, you know what I mean? No, now we know for sure after even what Bond was saying in that one video and other videos, this thing will be like $1,500, maybe even more now because of this DRAM market conditions. SSDs are going to be going up. Right? GPUs are going up. AMD's increasing the price of their GPUs. It's going to be a PC, not a console, but with console backwards compatibility features in it. And it's going to be priced out the ass. So I don't see, I mean, even launching this, I think it's in the Ally situation, but maybe possibly better, but it's going to be more expensive. I'm telling you, this thing's going to be like $1,500. Man, who's going to want to pay for that? Nobody. Nobody even wants to pay $700-800 for certain consoles, and they're crying about that. People are crying about $600 and stuff like that in this market today. It is literally going to be dead on arrival. So I think, like I said before, it's going to be something, when you think about Satya's plan, to be a luxurious product on a PC market where everybody already has their PCs. It's not something that you're going to need to be able to play anything Xbox. So what's kind of the point? So we have right here, the speculation around the Xbox Magnus flopping stems from concerns about its high price, hybrid nature, and market positioning. There's no way in hell this thing is going to come on the market and you're going to think what you thought even with the series when it was coming, and you thought there was going to be some 360 energy that's going to compete with the PlayStation 6. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's going to get blown away immediately. There's going to be no competition there. It's just going to be PlayStation and Nintendo and the Steam Machine doing what they're doing. And then I think Valve's going to make a higher model, of course, when technology dies down with the Steam Deck 2 down the line, just to keep that Steam family going. I'm not saying I wouldn't want an Xbox Magnus, but what I'm saying is the fact that it's going to be pretty much a PC with fully integrated Windows 11 AI Copilot trash, no thanks. And the fact that they're going for a very high-end, very premium, luxurious Ferrari-type console, if you get what I mean, it's going to be insanely expensive. So who is it for? When you really look at people in the PC world, what are most of their rigs? You see nobody with a 5090. It's like 1% and under. You saw nobody with a 4090. It's so low, it's ridiculous. And when you think about the route that the Magnus is going, it's not going to be a console. That going their route in the interest of people that are in that percentage where it's like, and then they're interested in PC gaming and Steam, the people that are getting that. Nobody's interested really in the Xbox ecosystem like that to buy their hardware. It's at an all-time low. So I don't understand the point of it. Now more than ever, that's how I feel seeing the conditions of the PC world. It's being killed. And they want to turn it into a renting subscription service. So what is the point of the Magnus then? If I already can do anything it's going to do right here on my PC. Right now. You see what I mean? What's the point? So Microsoft has confirmed the next-gen console will be a high-end premium product similar to $999 Xbox ROG Ally. Yeah, if that thing's $1,000, think about it. This strategy may alienate mainstream console buyers. Yes, it is. Leaks suggest a Magnus could cost between $900 and $1,200. And think about this. This was before the market crash. We were considering some of these like values. So this is updated stuff, but this is what people were trying to say. I was like, no, this thing's going to be like $1,500 and up. I've seen people tell me that. They supposedly have insider information. Positioning it as a gaming PC hybrid rather than a traditional home console, potentially competing with the pre-built PCs instead of the PS6. And this market's only going to get insane. Critics argue that $1,200 is unsustainable for most consumers. It's going to be more than that, I'm telling you. Think about this market. It's not getting better. It's going to get more insane, especially with inflation and the availability of cheaper PC alternatives. Used to be like that, but not anymore. Some believe that the console's lack of exclusives, like that's what I'm saying, it's not going to have any of that. High cost and uncertain backwards compatibility could doom it, particularly if it doesn't deliver a compelling reason to choose over building a PC. Why would it? I don't see why. People are going to want something that is not forcing Windows 11 down their throat. They'd rather have their PC be Linux built because they can actually do that. However, others see value in powerful Steam integrating cross-platform devices. I could do that right now. This is what I mean. Like, it's like, I don't understand where there's going to be innovation in this that enables seamless gaming across devices, especially for fans of Game Pass and Xbox's ecosystem, which is dwindling more and more every day. Ultimately, whether Magnus flops or succeeds depends on Microsoft's execution. Oh boy, yeah, I don't have any faith in that. So guys, I mean, this is not beating down Xbox. This is more like Microsoft cares about AI. Microsoft cares about data centers. Microsoft didn't get that deal and they stormed out of that office angry. Microsoft wants to get the AI position to push the AI. They're falling behind. They just lost 10% more stock value. Investors are doubting them. They want to fix the cloud stuff, the AI stuff. Satya's not worried about the Magnus, whether it succeeds or flops. That's not going to change anything for Microsoft. They don't give a damn. But the Xbox division and probably Phil Spencer want to push this, but I guarantee you he didn't want to push it to get that high because Phil Spencer even said himself, I do not want to launch a console that is going to be $1,000 when he was trying to criticize the Pro for a certain extent. There are some people that are calling him liar saying that, but I'm telling you, I really don't think this is Phil Spencer's. All this stuff going on is not Phil Spencer. You know what I mean? It's like he's done what he's can. Yeah, he's probably told some lies because that's the character he has to play for Microsoft. But obviously, he would like to see Xbox be more affordable and probably play the exclusive game and compete. But he can't play that game anymore, and everybody knows that's long gone. So when I think about the Magnus, it's more now about the suits, Satya and all them being involved in it and how they want it. Now, if it's not going to make that profit and sell at that premium price, they don't give a damn, you know, other than that, because that's not their worry. Their worry is AI. Everybody knows this. And now they're more worried than ever because Microsoft, compared to last year, who was back and forth at 1 and 2 with Nvidia on the market, has fallen down to 4, almost 5 now. They've went down significantly. They're not getting the deals that they want. So why is Magnus a high value? No, they're not going to take anything and they're not going to subsidize. So with RAM continuing to go up, it's not looking cheaper. GPUs continuing to go up, it's not looking cheaper. SSDs are going to keep going up. NANDs are going to keep going up. You see what I mean? Where is this going to be subsidized? Never. You know what I mean? Not Microsoft's going to give you a deal. Yeah, right. They didn't even give you a wrap at the end of 2025, and they did not drop the price in Black Friday. Not even a single cent. You see what I mean? You're not getting no deals, and they're not going to subsidize. Steam said they're not going to subsidize. If you look at how you think Steam Machine is in a corner to be screwed for $700, $800, do you think the Magnus is going to be anywhere around that? No, this thing's going to be like double that price. That's what I'm saying. So I don't see how this console or this PC hybrid with a little bit of console backwards compatibility features, which I think that will probably be there, is going to be any relevant. What is the point of even launching it? Why don't you just continue focusing on helping out your developers and becoming a strong third-party publisher? Like people were saying, you're going the Sega route. They really are. But because they have the money, they want to do that, but they're not going to subsidize. I don't see the point of the Magnus. It just feels like it's just going to flop, and then it's going to sit there. And I don't see them dropping down the price because the market conditions are not going to be anything good. As a matter of fact, if they're going to get this thing even going, it's going to have to get delayed into 2028 to be somewhat affordable. Like $1,200, $1,300, they can get it somewhere around that. But I don't know about that. If you're thinking about the specs that I've seen, think about what that would take right now to get that on a PC. With how insane this market is. Dude, we're talking about $2,000. You see what I'm saying? Like, so how's a Magnus going to be anything cheaper than $1,500? When you really think about what it was trying to push for, I don't see how that's going to be possible, guys. I'm just being realistic here. Like, I think when it comes to this console, I don't know why I'm saying console, when it comes to this PC machine that's enforcing Windows 11, you know what I mean? Who's going to be attracted to that? Everybody already hates Windows 11 as it is. And it's AI creep hell and spyware. So I just don't see how this console is attractive. Now that we know everything that we know now with the way the market is now, and I'm saying console because I'm so used to thinking of Xbox as a console, right? But, you know, Magnus is not really going to be that. Even though they call it the Xbox Magnus, I would say it's a PC device that is appearing like a console, kind of like the Steam Machine is, right? They're kind of going that route. And you'll say, oh, it has Steam on it. It's like, yeah, but dude, so does every computer in the world right now. You're not coming as an exclusive. You know what I mean? What are you going to say? Oh, the reason why it's considered this because we can play old 360 games. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, that's not going to sell anything. Like, that's nobody really cares about that. That's not the point of making a new console. It's like, what are you going to do? Make some 360 pixel games look a little bit? It's like, no, man, I'm sorry. It's not going to work. Because it's such a small base that really cares about that. And the Xbox base is already so small when you think about it that that is like under 0.5% in the gaming community as a whole. Nobody cares about that factor. And if we're just facing the music here, how is this thing going to sell? The ROG Ally already died. Nobody cares about it. You see what I mean? This is going to be more expensive. And it's not about power. That's not going to move anyone. People are not even excited. They're saying certain things about the PS6. If somebody was trying to launch that next year. Sean Layden said it. You're going to have something more than power. So when you really think about that, even Phil Spencer said there needs to be hardware innovation. What's the point if the Magnus is the same as the PS6? If it was going to be a console at that point, right? We were thinking about that. Because when you think about the Series X and the PlayStation 5, they were too similar. What was the difference? All AMD parts were so similar. The difference was in the ecosystems. Like, oh, we got Game Pass day one over here, right? When it was actually really attractive. You have no exclusives no more, so the only thing left was your subscription service that destroyed your market. And now that went up to $30 a month, and that became less attractive. And now PlayStation Plus Essential is looking way more eye candy because it's an ecosystem where you can say, oh, I can just wait out a sale and get all your games. And I can still have the sub service over here and play all those games eventually one day too. And I got a Pro model that's more powerful than your console. So, I mean, when I think about the Magnus, I'm like, what can my 24-core processor build right here can't do that's going to do? I don't see why I would even pay attention to it. I did it because I don't want Windows 11 shoved down my throat. And I don't need it. I can play everything here fine. And I get the PS6 and everything's fine there. Don't tell me about this difference in power at that point. None of that stuff's gonna matter. You see what I mean? I'm trying to be like very intelligent with you guys by saying I'm trying to find a reason for it. It seems more useless than the series when it launched, because at least when the series launched, you had something to look forward to that you feel like could have been competing with other platforms in a certain sense. The Magnus doesn't seem like it. What is the point? You see what I mean? I guess just to continue it on. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. Have a great day. Hey, we're just keeping it real over here. Later.